Hi everyone, Adarsh here. So this is a continuation video of consumer series where earlier we discussed about the consumer and functional interface. Now we gonna talk about by consumer functional interface. So basically the by consumer functional interface is something which accepts two input parameters, perform some operations but does not return anything as a output of that. So we have a different sort of use cases in our regular application development where we need these type of functional interface which we can use with the help of lambda expressions. So let's jump into the code and see. So by consumer interface, as I have mentioned, it takes two input parameter but does not return anything. So what I have done just to demonstrate this concept, I have created a method with the by consumer with the name by consumer. It takes two input values of string type and instance of by consumer binded with the two input values of string type and call the accept method. So this accept method is an abstract method in the functional interface by consumer. So the first approach which we have traditionally just to provide a implementation of by consumer interface and then override the accept method and do the operation, and it doesn't return anything. That's why you can see there's a return type as a void. So just to call that method, we have just passed the two input values and then by consumer instance. Then in the second approach, we just little bit of further optimize with the anonymous classes here and pass the two input values. So this approach 1 and 2 approach is before the JDK8, but from the JDK8 we have a handy tool of lambda expression where we can just pass the exact code what is required to complete our functionality. So we have just copy paste this selected code and put the lambda expression symbol here, and we are done with our functionality. But we move little bit further and we optimize. We have just removed the data type from here, curly braces from here and the semicolon, and that become our fourth approach. But I cannot move further little bit. I cannot remove this bracket because we have a two argument, and if I just try to remove this two braces, then it compiler will start complaining. So I cannot do that. But if it is a consumer interface, then I can remove this bracket also and it become our fifth approach as we have discussed earlier. So if I just execute this piece of code, so you can see that output will be the same for all the approaches. Here you can see the output will be the same for all the approaches, but the way of writing and ease of writing is totally different from JDK before JDK8 and after JDK8. So that's how I hope this will help you to understand. I'll just once again we'll just brush up this thing that by consumer is something which takes one input values and performs some operation on that input value and does not return anything. And by consumer is something which takes two input values, performs some operation but does not return anything after the operation complete successful. So this is a by consumer and consumer basic difference. So I hope this will help you to understand the concept. I'll come up with something. I'll come up with the other type of consumer interface like int consumer, long consumer, double consumer, and object to int, object to long, and object to double. So till then, take care. Bye.